Well, hello, and welcome to this ninth in my series of um, short videos about uh, Christian disciples who, um, following in the steps of Jesus, knew something about uh, sharing, service, or sacrifice. And I mentioned yesterday I was doing two of these on women in America who were born in slavery. Yesterday it was Sojourner Truth. Today it's Harriet Tubman, born in 1822, so about 25 years after Sojourner's Truth. And her name when she was born was Araminta Ross. She went on to marry a fellow slave called John Tubman, but he was then freed. But that's where she got the Tubman surname. And shortly after they got married, she adopted her mother's first name, Harriet, rather than Araminta, partly because it aided her escape plans, but also because she had become a Christian and she felt she wanted a new identity. It was very difficult because her husband was now a freed slave, yet she was still a slave. And apparently many families existed in this strange world where one was a slave and one wasn't. But she eventually made her escape and then dedicated many years to helping others escape along what was called the Underground Railroad to get people from one state where slavery was legal to another state where it was illegal. She once said of her own escape, "When I crossed the line, i.e. the state line, from legal slavery to slavery being illegal, when I crossed the line, I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person. There was such a glory over everything. The sun came like gold through the trees and over the fields, and I felt like I was in heaven." She had travelled by night, following the North Star and avoiding the slave catchers who were out to find any escapees and claim a reward. She arrived at a safe house along the way, and there she spent the day sort of sweeping the yard, acting as if she was an employee or a slave of the family who lived there, and then by night would travel on again. And this was to be the method by which she helped other slaves avoid capture. She would go back and bring them along the Underground Railroad to safe houses on the way, and then into states where slavery was illegal. But even then, because this was before the Civil War, and the United States was still had a united Congress of northern and southern states, even then a law was passed nationally by Congress that said anybody who escaped, were an escaped slave, could be arrested and sent back to where they came from, even if they were arrested in a state where slavery was illegal. And anybody helping them in that escape could also be arrested. So she was constantly under threat of arrest if she was captured, both in slavery states and non-slavery states. But she continued this work over many years and took risks because of her faith and her love of people and her desire to liberate slaves. And it's for this that she is remembered. Later on in life, like Sojourner Truth, she helped to recruit for the Union Army that fought against the Confederate States in the Civil War in America. But it was her bravery in bringing the slaves into freedom across the lines through the Underground Railroad that she will be remembered and honoured. A fine example of laying down her life for others.